sometimes getting stuck in the planning is because we don't think the playing is actually profitable. We don't think the playing is serious enough or will be taken seriously. We don't think the playing is something that, when we're laughing and giggling and joking, that we're actually doing, we're making progress. Hello creatives, welcome back to the Fully Me channel. My name is Jazelle, and here we talk about all things living fully as a creative woman, as a creative mom, as a creative being. I would like to talk about this idea of masculinity and femininity in creating. We've heard about this topic so many times in so many different areas, different arenas, but something came to me. A lot of these are like lessons that I've had to learn or am learning in real time, and I share them with you because I feel like as I am learning, this may be, if it came to me, more than likely it is someone out there who is also on the same path of learning this lesson, or who has come out of this lesson, or who's getting ready to go into this lesson. And if anything that I have learned can help you skip some steps, girl, I'm gonna share that with you. Just as I am extremely and equally grateful for those who share lessons with me so that I can skip some steps too. Why are we all falling in the same traps? That don't make no sense. Anyway, let's help each other out, okay? So this idea of masculinity and femininity, but specifically in creating. This idea that the planning is masculine, but the playing is feminine, and why you need both. Let's talk about it, shall we? So this whole thing, and my guys are playing in the back, so if you hear that, that's why. So this whole idea of masculine and feminine and playing versus planning, and it really comes from me having to address myself, to become aware of my own actions, and then to reflect on them and ask questions. What I recognize is that I enjoy planning. I enjoy organizing and having everything be in its own perfect place. However, I've also noticed that I can get stuck in planning. When that part is like sufficient enough, move on, I'm still like, no, I'm gonna stay here in the closet or at home where nobody sees me. I'm not visible. I'm gonna stay here and just plan. Have all these wonderful, glorious plans, but I did nothing with them because that is the playing, the playful part. And a couple of things came up for me to consider, and so I'm gonna present it to you as well. Sometimes we think that the planning or to achieve something means it has to be arduous, it has to be hard and difficult. Instead of playing is like,
well, that's child's work. You're not even doing nothing. You just sit up here rolling around. You just playing with finger paint. You're not doing something that's
gonna really take your brain and give you migraines and headaches and have your face crunch up like that. Like you're really doing something.
And although we may not vocalize it or verbalize it, it's something that lives in many of our subconscious minds because it's something that has been passed down generation to generation to generation, as well as through our cultural and social networks and conditionings. Little tangent, this is also why many creative artists don't get paid what they need to get paid, even though everybody benefits from their art. And on that note, I'm gonna step off of my soapbox, maybe another video, and get back to this topic. So when I'm planning can feel like, oh, I'm really doing something and getting things done, even though it's just busy work. Oh, I'm moving these boxes around. Ooh, I'm really doing something, even though I'm just moving boxes around. It often goes hand in hand with the mindsets, as I mentioned before, that in order to make money, I have to work hard. And playing is not working hard. That's like easy, that's like fun. So I can't make money doing things that are easy or doing things that are fun. I have to do things that are hard. Also, with the mindset of not being good enough. Not being good enough can really be disguised in procrastination or taking you off task or keeping you in that planning mode, because somewhere in the depths of your psyche, in your heart, in your mind, you believe that what you have to offer in your playing mode is not good enough. However, the playing mode is the goodness, it's the juiciness, it's the delightfulness, it's the lightheartedness, it's the sunshine, it's the energy flowing, it's the happiness, it's the giggles, it's the attraction, it's the magnetism. Let me ask you, would you prefer to be around a person who is joyful and laughing and giggling and everyone around them feel upbeat? Would you prefer to be around that person or around a person who is like super serious, super stern? Everyone is like walking on eggshells and scared and nervous to say anything. Even if they need something, it's kind of like you have to go through this process of preparing yourself mentally because you never know what can happen. You're scared. Like, who would you prefer to be around? For real. Now I have another question for you. Because some of y'all may be like, oh, well, the serious one probably making the money. But what if both are? What if both have the capacity and ability to make money? What if what's keeping you from making money, or the money that you desire, or the abundance that you desire right now, is the lack of playing? Because when you're not playing, that means you're not being visible. When you're just in planning mode, you're just like in your home office, in your room, wherever you are, at the library, and you just typing away at a coffee shop, just typing away. Why do I know all these things? Because I'm telling on myself. And if you feel that, then I'm telling on you too. But it's really coming from me, stuck in planning mode versus playing, versus being visible, versus making mistakes and laughing at yourself, versus seeing what happens, throwing paint on the wall and seeing what beautiful masterpiece comes from it. Because let me tell you, people buy these paint splotches, okay? They buy them. You believe in it? I believe in it too. That's quite often how it happens. Now, it's not every single piece, but it's quite often how it happens. So, I am a visual person. I get images in my mind and it helps me to understand things. So I like to talk to people in images, and sometimes my kids and my family are like, okay, mom. However, I want to share something with you. So this idea of planning being like a sweater, right? So when you plan, you're like the sweater part. The planning is the sweater, and the body that it is on is actually the person. It is the body. That's the playing part. The planning is the sweater. The playing is the body. Got that? Okay, so let's move forward with that. The planning is what holds, what covers, what creates parameters, right? It's that what's going around. That's the planning. That's the masculine part. But what is it going around? It's going around the body, the feminine part. The sweater is extremely important because you need the sweater to clothe, to cover, to protect the body, right? To go around the body. So there's a part of me that was like, okay, if you're stuck in planning mode, then that means you're out here knitting all these sweaters, creating all these sweaters. But what are sweaters meant to do? To keep warm, to be placed on something. And if you're not in the playing, then you're creating all these sweaters for nothing. The sweaters don't even have the true privilege of using their purpose or being used for their purpose because there's no body to put them on. You're just out here planning, but there's nothing to use that plan on. So if you're not stuck in the planning mode, which many of you, myself included, have been, then perhaps you are stuck in the playing mode. What does that look like? You out here playing, you creating, you got all this stuff going, ooh, and it's amazing, right? Beautiful, you're beautiful. But then nothing happens with it, or it's short-lived. Why? Because you don't have the structure or the planning around it to support it. Going back to our example of the body and the sweater, you got all these naked bodies out here. All these naked bodies, and they don't got no sweaters. So guess what's gonna happen to these naked bodies? They are left exposed to the elements. And what's happening is they're going to die. They are going to be short-lived. They're going to perish or be left in neglect and rejection. It's not going to work. They are not going to have the lifespan that they are meant to have. Why? Because they are exposed. They are not covered. This is the feminine part. It is not covered. It has no structure of the masculine. It doesn't have that sweater around the body to help keep it warm, to keep it from exposure, to keep it covered, to keep it protected. Does that make sense to you? So just as the planning, the masculine, the sweater is extremely important for guidance, for structure, for protection, for cover. The body, the playing, the feminine is extremely important as well, because that's where you get actually something to put the sweater on. One, you have that magnetism, you have that energy, you have that creation, you have that flow, you have that play, you have the thing that people are actually drawn to. That is that portion of it. And so you need both. Point blank, you need both. You need both the planning. Get some structure, get some organization around what you are doing in your craft and your project. That is the masculine energy. You need it. But you can't get stuck there. You can't get stuck in a room. You need the play. Be visible. Get out there. Dance, create, write, show your face, because you need the play. The play is the feminine energy. It is where things are drawn to you. If you're creating all these things in a room, but don't nobody see it, how can they be attracted to it? Or you have all these things and everyone come here, this is what I have this, I have this, I have this. People start coming to you, but then you have no systems in place. There's nothing that gives them what they think they are getting, so then they fall away. And that product, that project, that thing that you have will fall away as well, or not be used to its highest potential. So you need both. How many times do I need to say this? You need both. What? You need both. You need planning and you need playing and creativity. And honestly, this is a life lesson that goes beyond every area of your life, every situation, every environment, physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. You need both energies, the masculine, the planning. And listen, don't forget the playing, baby, because that's where the magic happens. You need the playing. If you found that this topic has challenged you, has been pinging so many different areas within you, giving you confirmation on things that you were already considering, then I want to point you lovingly towards the resource that I have that is called the 5 Top Essentials for Every Creative. It is 5 different days or 5 different weeks, however you want to break it up, of tools that are super, super, super helpful for a creative. That includes both the masculine, the planning, but also includes the playing. And it gives you permission to really tap into that feminine, playful, silliness, joyful area and know that this part is just as important as this part, as that planning part. And it helps you and walks you through those in really simple but fun ways with templates and encouragement to help you through that path. So if you found this video super helpful, I really hope you did. I believe that you did. And if you landed here, then I have no doubt that this message was meant for you. So take advantage of it. Subscribe, share with another friend who comes to mind that may benefit from this, and also hit the notification bell. It helps us to keep these videos going, and most importantly, it helps us to be encouraged to live fully. So make sure you do so. Until next time.